Good evening and welcome to Concordia University EDU 520 Curriculum and Instruction. I am your adjunct instructor, Dee Peterson, and I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you over the course of this term. The syllabus and all of the activities and assignments are on Blackboard and will be available tonight after midnight, so you can access those at any time tomorrow. A little bit of background: I have now taught this online class, I think 4 times. I've been teaching for Concordia for about 8 or 9 years. I work still full-time for Orange Unified School District as a RTI district coach and as the district director for Avid Elementary with our curriculum department. I have taught almost all the classes in your major with curriculum and instruction except for the new technology class, and I'm looking forward to teaching that at some point in time. So I'm going to assume, unless you tell me differently, that this is the first course of your work here with Concordia. So let me know that when you do your response this week, and I will try and make sure that you guys have a good beginning for the course. My name, phone number, and email are all on Blackboard, so you can find them under the Meet Your Instructor button on Blackboard as well as on your syllabus. Please notice that my last name is spelled Peterson, S-E-N, so if you are emailing me, please be aware of that. I answer my cell almost 24/7, so that's a really good way to get a hold of me if you have questions or concerns. Also, I try and check my Concordia email a couple of times a day so that I can get back to you as quickly as possible. But if I don't get back to you soon enough, please feel free to call my cell. Let's see. All the assignments and points for the course are listed on page 13 of your syllabus. There is also a note in there regarding the week's work for this term because Easter break falls into this term. It's listed on the website, I believe, as April 10th through April 16th. However, I've posted a change for that on Blackboard as I will be out of the country April 3rd through the 10th. So I'm going to use that as our spring break, and that will give you 2 weeks up until April 16th to complete your work for your week 5 work. So what I try and do each week is give you an overview of what's due, what resources are available to you, to kind of give you a little heads up about what you're going to be working on this week. I make every effort to post these videos on Sunday, Monday at the latest, so make sure that you look for those. They'll be posted each week on Blackboard. Okay, so let's start by talking about discussion board. You're going to be using this quite a bit this term, so make sure that you read carefully the discussion criteria and the grading rubric. There are expectations on this rubric that your discussion will include some APA format, and you're going to have lots and lots of practice with that. Sometimes it's going to be very redundant, but by the time you're done, you should have a pretty good idea of what's expected in APA format. When you post, you are required to post your initial response to the discussion board question no later than Thursday night at midnight. And then you must make 2 responses to your peers, any 2 peers that you wish, but 2 responses for each question no later than Sunday night at midnight. So that means you're going to be making your own post, and then 2 responses for each question. Some week there are more than 1 question. On the rubric, it does say, as I said, that you're going to use APA format. Please look at the resources on Blackboard. There's a button for APA format, and on that, under those resources, there is a template for your paper, which is a really easy way to use this. You can simply fill in your own information. There's also a shortened form called Concordia's ABA Basics. There are page numbers that match the APA manual. If you have not purchased that manual, I strongly suggest that you do, because you're going to need it throughout your program. You will be required to have a title page for every paper that you turn in, which will include a running head on all pages, in-text citations, and a reference page. So please look carefully at the requirements for those. Most of the errors that I encounter with students have to do with incorrect citations, in-text citations. So take a look at that. If you have questions about it, let me know. Send me an email. I'm happy to check that for you. I will definitely give you feedback your first week on your submission. So your first assignment, you have 2 submissions this week. One is going to be a meet and greet kind of assignment, and the other is a response to some concepts presented by Sir Ken Robinson in his TED Talk. So when you're ready to submit your discussion board responses, you simply click on the yellow week 1, DB1, discussion board 1, and DB2, discussion board 2. You reply, type in the box, and submit. And as I said, the first submission has to do with some things about you, so we'll get to know each other a little better, as will your classmates. I do encourage you to skim through everybody's submission on that, so you'll get an idea of who's in the class and a little bit about what they teach, and some background about each of your colleagues. And then secondly, your second discussion board has to do with responding to the TED Talk by Sir Ken Robinson. You'll really enjoy his pieces if you haven't seen him before. He's very engaging and very interesting. Then you also have an assignment that is due this week, and this is a 2-page philosophy statement based on both your personal experience and on the definitions, theories, and roles of the curriculum worker. So be sure as you're reading your text of this week, chapters 1 and 2, that you look at pages 18 through 20 and page 29. That will give you some information about the roles of the curriculum worker in particular. It also asks you to consider how major educational philosophies resonate with your own teaching philosophy. And those are discussed in chapter 2, summarized on page 33. So that might be a good resource for you to focus on as you respond to this paper. Again, you're going to be asked to use APA format, and your resources, as I said earlier, are on Blackboard. The rubric is also on Blackboard. You can access it in that week 1. And it asks you to compose your philosophy statement based on the criteria. Be sure to address a personal experience, the definitions and theories, and the role of the curriculum worker. Make sure that you also include the major and educational philosophies that resonate with you. You will also be scored on the readability and style of your paper, so make sure that you include both an introduction and a conclusion to your paper. And once again, your APA style, a title page, a reference page, that's a separate page at the end of the paper, and that you have correctly cited your sources. So your sources for this will be your text and one additional source that you are asked to look at in order to formulate your paper. So you'll need one outside source. I'm going to look at my resources and see if this is a week that I have additional resources for you. When I have those, I go ahead and add them to the Blackboard page so that you don't have to go looking for them. So I'll check that for you and put that up if I have those. Make sure that you check your spelling and your grammar. This is a master's course and you are expected to be writing at that level. So if you're not sure, you can always submit work to Grammarly to be checked for grammar. Make sure you spell check. We'll be giving you some information about other resources that the university offers when you do your library orientation in a couple of weeks. So I'll be posting information about that next week. So I think that that is all I want to tell you this week. Make sure that you read through your syllabus carefully. Look at it each week in addition to what's posted on Blackboard, because that will give you a thorough idea of what's available. When you submit your work by next Sunday night, I will make every effort to respond to your submissions, hopefully during the week. I'm going to really make an effort this term to kind of look at work all week long. It takes me a little bit of time to get through looking at everybody's submissions. There are 15 of you in this course. So I will post some responses to your discussion board online, and then also when you submit papers, I will give you feedback under the where you'll see your grades posted on Blackboard as well. So have a great first week, and if you have any questions, again, feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. Talk to you next week.